Come with me on this fine Monday morning, and we have got an old blast from the past, a Citroen Berlingo van that is needed a clutch kit. I'm going to stick my neck out and say that is probably the best diesel engines ever made. As always, the first thing we need to do is get the battery and battery tray out of the way, along with the airbox. Now we've got them out of the way, I do need to attack this job a little bit differently because I can't get it on my two-poster. So we're going to undo all the top engine bell housing bolts from the top here, and also the gear linkages at the back. Now we've finished with everything that we need to at the top, let's get it up in the air and get the front wheels off. Now we've got the wheels off, we need to remove the dry shaft nut and the lower ball joints. Now we've got the shafts out of the hub, we need to get the shafts out of the gearbox. But before we do, we need to just let our drain plug out and let the oil run into a nice little receptacle. And while that's doing that, there's two 11s there holding the offside dry shaft in. Now we're almost ready to take the gearbox out, but before we do, we need to remove the clutch cable. In the middle of these cables, there is a self-adjusting ratchet in there, so you need to be careful. Pair of more grips on the inner cable, don't put it too tight because you will damage it. All we've got to do now is just remove the speedo drive and a few more little nuts and bolts. And the reason behind moving the speedo drive off the gearbox is so as you're moving the gearbox out, so you're not catching it on the engine. Now we've got the engine and gearbox just dropped down ever so slightly. I've got a supporter with my apprentice. We just need to remove this pin now, this engine mount, and then it'll just pull straight out. And there we go, that is one gearbox out. And the reason why we are changing this clutch is because the thrust bearing has absolutely shat itself. You know, when these fail, it takes the tubes out with them as well. So when you're ordering a clutch from them, always replace that tube. Now let's move around to the clutch plate and pressure plate. We'll get a T40 and we'll just buzz them out. Right, because I like to use Schaeffler LUK because their quality is absolutely second to none, jump on the App Store and download the Rep Expert app. And in that, once you've filled all your information in, it will allow you full access to all the different applications that you can use with this. Now let's jump on to scan. Let's scan the barcode and it comes up with all the information, sorry about the blurring, all the information about this product that you will be fitting, down to torque settings, you name it, it has got it. Anyway, let's get it fit. Now the most critical part on fitting any clutch is alignment. If you don't get it aligned properly, you will not be getting that gearbox back on the engine. Anyway, let's get it fitted and torqued up to 20 Newton meters. And there we go, that is the new clutch fitted and torqued up correctly, dated and hashtag send it. I've also put the new thrust bearing on with a slight smidgen of grease on it. Anyway, let's get this gearbox back in. I'm not going to bore you putting it back in because it's just reverse procedure of what I took it out. And there we go, just like that, it is all built back up. Let's get in the vehicle now and give it a big start and give it a try. Now we're in the car, let's get on the key. God, I used to love the sound of these. Anyway, have we got gear? Good clutch pedal, in reverse, and we got in first. Jobs are good. And there we go, another job well done. All I've got to do now is just torque the wheels up. I don't know why I put the wheel trim back on, I don't know. I'm going to torque it up now, take it down the road for a test drive, and we'll get it sent.